Hey everyone, welcome back to your favorite pirate crew. Today we're going to be talking about Shanks wanting to become the new sun god. If you'd like to see more about One Piece in our channel, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to join our pirate crew, the Pirates. Before we continue with the video, you know that I have to ask that you subscribe to the channel. That way you can join our pirate crew and earn a devil fruit or master your favorite haki. It would be a great help to this division of the crew if you left your like, thumbs up in today's video so that we together can become Yonkos. Papa needs a new cape. Now let's continue with this day's video. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. With One Piece heading towards its final course of arcs, a number of mysteries have begun to be revived. From some of the oldest to some new ones with new information that leaves us more doubtful than sure of what we're thinking about the story. Speaking of which, one of the most surprising characters when it comes to mystery and lack of information is Shanks himself, the Redhead. Shanks is a very surprising element that has been showing itself to be very active in the last chapters. Thanks to this, and also to the end of the arc, in which the author is always dedicated to showing the world outside, a large portion of people have started to theorize wildly about the Yonko. This became even more evident when the movie focusing on him came out, allowing us to think more about the ultimate goal of the character by comparing his actions in history and in the past. After all, what was Shanks' purpose with the Gomu Gomu no Mi? Why did he steal it for himself? What was he aiming for by waiting for Luffy to become a renowned and powerful pirate to meet him again? Does he know anything about Joy Boy anyway? What is his relationship with Blackbeard? And could this possibly be connected to his goal? That's what we're going to be talking about in this day's video. Shanks, Redhead, commonly known as Redhead, is the head of the Redhead Pirates, and one of the four emperors ruling the New World. Sailing with Roger's pirates since childhood, Shanks would begin his pirate career on their ship as an apprentice alongside Buggy, before forming his own crew after Roger's death. Notably, Shanks is the pirate who inspired Monkey D. Luffy to go on his own pirate voyage, and his crewmate Lucky Rawix found the Gomu Gomu no Mi that was accidentally eaten by Luffy. He also possessed the straw hat that became Luffy's signature accessory, having gifted it to the boy as part of a promise for them to meet again someday. Since the beginning of the series, Shanks has been an important secondary character, usually being shown following Luffy's growing reputation as a pirate. He is a late ally, but still vital during the Marineford and Wano arcs. As noted by the Five Elders, Shanks is a pacifist by nature who does not actively seek to cause chaos and disorder. He is also against the idea of unnecessary bloodshed, even if honor is involved, and so far seems to only step up in a fight when a friend is in danger. He also seems to admire those who show extreme bravery for humanitarian reasons, having protected and praised Kobe for mustering his courage to stop the Marineford Summit War in front of the ruthless Admiral Akainu, as the young Marine believed it was pointless to continue fighting and treating the wounded should be prioritized. Although Shanks always seems to favor peaceful solutions, he will stand up and fight if the enemy won't let him choose. 13 years ago, Shanks' crew stole the Gomu Gomu no Mi that was being stored on a government ship by the then CP9 agent Who's Who. That same year, Shanks arrived on Dawn Island, where he met a strange boy named Monkey D. Luffy. Intrigued by the boy and enjoying the atmosphere of Fuchsia Village, he decided to make the island his crew's base for a short period of time, which turned into a year. Luffy quickly became attached to the crew, so much so that he wished to join them and become a pirate as well. But Shanks refused to allow the boy to join his crew, claiming that he was too young. At that time, Shanks' bounty was 1,040,000,000. Luffy and Shanks have yet to meet face to face since Luffy was a child, but Luffy reaffirmed his interest in seeing Shanks again in the New World after he departs Fishman Island. Meanwhile, Shanks and the Redhead Pirates seem delighted with Luffy's growth. Luffy has stated that although Shanks is his idol, he has an interest in talking him down as well, as the Redhead man is one of the four emperors and is therefore on his way to become the king of pirates. After Luffy's actions in Big Mama's territory were revealed to the world, Shanks was pleased with Luffy's progress and stated that Luffy was almost ready to meet him. After Luffy overthrew Kaido and was declared one of the four emperors, Shanks looked at the paper declaring Luffy's victory with a look of pride and impression before recalling his past with Luffy and how Luffy ended up eating the Gomu Gomu no Mi. Despite this, Shanks says that he doesn't want to meet Luffy just yet. What Shanks seems more aware of is Blackbeard, who gave him his 3 scars in a previous encounter. Shanks himself seems to know the potential danger that Blackbeard poses is greater than anyone else. The two met after a confrontation between Roger's pirates and Whitebeard's pirates. Shanks was jealous of the rumors that Teach couldn't sleep. Teach, on the other hand, thought little of Shanks. At Marineford, the two confronted each other and Shanks addressed Teach in a strained manner. Only Shanks seemed to regard Teach as a significant threat compared to the Marines, or Whitebeard's pirates, and their subordinate New World crews. Teach was initially surprised to see him again, but was amused to be called out out by Shanks before mocking him for the scars he gave him, having already proclaimed that his era is beginning, revealing the new members of his crew and demonstrating control over 2 Akuma no Mi. Teach said he had achieved his goal for now, knowing also that he was not ready to face Shanks, but is facing him really his desire? We saw more recently in the story that Blackbeard went to Hancock to steal the power of her fruit especially. The most surprising thing about all this is the fact that it practically proves that he can take far more than one fruit at once. Even more interesting is the possibility that he could mold the conditions of the fruit at will, as Boa's Akuma no Mi only worked because she was beautiful, which would make no sense should he port it to himself. I mean, to each their own, right? This could mean only 2 things. Either he's able to shape the conditions of a fruit when he uses it for himself, or he had hoped to pass this power on to someone else, perhaps someone from within his crew. Considering his lines from the last chapter, it's possibly not the first option, so we can only theorize that it's the second case, where he might be able to pass it on to someone else in particular. But how could that work? We know that Teach can take the power of the Akuma no Mi from someone, but that can only happen when the bearer dies. If we consider this, him going to see Hancock to kill her would make sense. He couldn't take the fruit as someone who's still alive, so it's almost like the fruit reincarnation system, where it grows back into the big tree of Akuma no Mi, which we can't really say much about yet, since there's not really much to say, it just hasn't really been explored yet. However, we can assume that in the future, it will even be shown in the story, with characters interacting directly with it. Could this be exactly what Shanks wanted when he hoped that Luffy would become a great pirate, for him to reach the maximum power of his fruit, so that something special could happen? We know that Shanks and Blackbeard don't really get along, but for his great goal, he would possibly do anything, including ally himself with someone he didn't like. Shanks has his own vision of the new age, but we still don't know completely what that means. Possibly, he could be waiting for Luffy to reach his peak all this time, finally being able to start running after his big goal. But why is that? Not just because he's a D, but because he possesses the Nika Nika, a fruit in which he should belong. Considering this possibility, and especially the idea that Shanks and Blackbeard see each other as well-known enemies, it could be that something similar to what we saw in Bleach happens. They're actually united, working together. Don't even ask for spoilers, and I hope you're cultured enough to know what that is. Bleach. This would allow him to strike a deal with Teach in exchange for Luffy's fruit, without necessarily telling Blackbeard the truth about it, and then receive his power. Not only killing Luffy in the process, but being able to take his power now that he's awakened and certain that this fruit is real. And thus, Shanks would gain a new power and the ability to become the new sun god. But so what? Too crazy a theory, or is it possible? Leave your opinion in the comments, because we'll be stalking. Anyway, that's it, my Straw Hat Pirate. I really hope you enjoyed this video, seriously. And if you have any suggestions for a future video, don't forget to comment below, because I'll be reading them all as I always do. Also, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any content from your pirate crew.